Nigerian police and armies, you dey burn your papa well. Dare to shoot any innocent protesters again. We can rain fire in that police station. This is not the answers protest. If you dare to shoot innocent people this time around, first of all, we will start it from your family. Armies, you dey burn your papa well. Dare to shoot any innocent protesters again. We can rain fire in that police station. This is not the answers protest. If you dare to shoot innocent people this time around, first of all, we will start it from your family, because everyone that you have been killing, they are all human beings. None of them is.
Alright, guys, so just as this guy has explained over here, this is clear evidence that sometimes power, because of abuse of power, sometimes the people that are placed to actually manage a particular section of the government, because of lack of capacity, they can tend to maybe doing whatever they like. All right. So few years ago, there was a NSAS protest that some individuals was actually affected. But in this case, something different is happening. But I want you guys to pay attention to all that is going to happen. This 30 days rant has really called a lot of attention, and the Nigerian youth all has already sent warning to the Nigerian police and also to the military. And I want you guys to pay attention to everything that is discussed here in this particular video update. And I'll be right back.
Are the battle for survival. And if nothing else tells you the clear picture of what Nigerians are going through, few days ago, the presidential spokesperson, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, put out a statement that the president is on his way to France for a 2-week working visit. And while in France, what the president is trying to do is to get an appraisal of his government and to retreat and reflect on his own reforms. Meaning, after spending money in 2024-2025 budget to renovate the presidential villa, the vice president's home, the president's house in Dodan Barracks in Lagos, and the vice president's home in Dodan Barracks, buying private jets, and in a country of 774 local governments, the commander-in-chief does not have a proper location in Nigeria to reflect, but the president jets out to reflect about his policies from a foreign country. The president wants to reflect about his policies and has yet to make a statement on the 30-day rant challenge of Nigerian youths calling for help, where the cost of living is killing the living. Tomorrow it is Uromi killing. Next tomorrow it is Benue, it is Ondo, it is Plateau. What exactly is going on in Nigeria is an outright lack of accountability. And that is why for this 30 days ranting challenge, it will not just end with ranting, it must be backed up with action. Nigerian youths need a system, an electoral system that can guarantee free, fair, credible, and peaceful elections so that you can be able to elect proper leaders. And that is what my own call to the president is. Thank God his aide said he is a Democrat. The hallmark of every democracy are free and fair elections. The president has to commit to that process in 2027, where people will not be beaten out of polling units like it happened in Lagos in 2023, so that Nigerian youths can begin to live and not just exist or struggle to survive. What exactly is there as an incentive to be Nigerian today? The institutions are almost stacked against you. Law enforcement is almost against you. The judicial system is not where you can go. The market is not what you can even afford. There is just sheer hopelessness across board. And that is what you are seeing us do in these 30 days. And if anybody as a leader is listening, then they should be taking practical steps to resolving these issues, most importantly, guaranteeing a free, fair, and peaceful process in 2027, and that is what we must ensure.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Peter. So let's get back to Jalingo in the house. Okay, good to see you.
Thank you.
Now, I wanted to ask, what protections should citizens know they are entitled to under the Nigerian law? And what do international organizations and human rights bodies play in holding the Nigerian government accountable for its responses to public dissent?
Well, Thank you so much. First, I should apologize for stepping in a little late.
Better late than never.
Yeah, thank you. So I talking about the rights that Nigerians need to know. First of all, I think that Nigerians need to know first that we have a right to rant, and that the freedom of speech is guaranteed under our constitution, and
without fear or intimidation.
Without fear or intimidation. As a matter of fact, I keep referring to what happened in the UK in 2021. That two judges, Justice Welby and Lord Justice Bean, they said that. The UK doesn't have a written constitution, so they are run by decisions of parliament and court judgment. They said that if your rights, your freedom of speech is only includes the right to say nice things, then you are not free. The judges said that your freedom of speech includes the right to insult and offend the other person. Because if it is just about saying nice things about you, then I'm not free, as a matter of fact. So, and like the essay was saying to Mr. President, this government has consistently tried to criminalize the right to speak, the freedom of speech in Nigeria. They claim that there's freedom of speech, but consistently they have continued to use the Cybercrime Act to see how they can criminalize our right to speak. I have been a victim. I have been on trial for talking. They have been tried under the Cybercrime Act, and they not long ago the court discharged and acquitted me. So the Nigerians need to know that we have a right to speak, number one. And then this government I couldn't have believed that this government will come and criminalize the right to protest. I was the Secretary General of June 12 Coalition, and at a point, the relationship, as a matter of fact, let me say it here, that it is this president that was funding the June 12 Coalition. So we had a relationship, and these are the things that they taught us. We were cadres in the movement. I couldn't have believed that a government led by Tinubu, Idele Alake, Bayo Nanuga, all these names, our comrades, that at some point, we will no longer be allowed to go and carry placards. And this is what they taught us to do. This is what we were going to their houses to collect monies, to come and do placards. They gave us bonfires, they gave us petrol. We were the ones that were hanging out on the streets in the night to burn tires, to make people stay at home. Then suddenly under this government, we don't even have any space to protest again. But Nigerians also need to know, because you asked me about rights, that the right to protest, the right to be out there on the street, the right to rant is our fundamental human right. And let me also add, because almost most Nigerians in the South are Christians, that I want to ask, I don't go to church, but I feel tempted to go into the Bible and talk about it. That in the book of Kings, when David increased taxes for the people, 11 tribes of Israel went to meet him and said, these taxes, this burden is too heavy on us. It was a protest. And the king said, okay, we will do something about it, just like Nigerian leaders will always tell us. Just go and come back. And that same Bible said, the king, Jeroboam, consulted with his younger friends who told him that, don't mind them. And when they came back, he said, my father whipped you with whips. I will whip you with scorpions. I'm not going to listen to you. And that was what led to why the 11 tribes of Israel separated from the other one, and the country became divided. Protest is even biblical. It's not just a constitutional right. It's also a biblical right. You have a right to protest when you are angry. And if your kings do not listen to you, you have a right to overthrow them. So I don't, talking about rights, they know. And then when you talk about the role of the international organizations, I should say that organizations like Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and the rest of them have actually been our allies in this struggle. In recent times, in the past 2 years, a number of activists, a number of journalists, a number of social media commentators have been arrested. There is barely any week that passes in Nigeria today that 1 or 2 persons are not arrested, either by the federal government or municipal governments, like the local governments, or state government, somewhere in the country. In fact, as a matter of fact, right now, somebody has been arrested in Bauchi and is going to be charged for talking and all of that. So, but in all of this, Amnesty International, some of these organizations have been able to stand by us, intervening at every point in time to give legal support and all of that to see how. And then our own organization, the Take It Back movement, Shura is everywhere and all of that, trying to see how, whether he knows you or not, once he hears that you're arrested, people are always there, and these organizations have been giving the support. I also know that in our Take It Back movement, Amnesty International recently supported a program we did by profiling human rights abuses in Nigeria in the past 2 years. And we had to launch that report at a hotel in Ikeja. So some of these organizations too have been playing. I myself Shore and Mandate were declared prisoners of conscience when we were arrested and locked up, and that also helped to internationalize the campaign. And they have consistently continued to do this for Nigerians that get into this kind of pitfalls. And I think that it has helped to give us some confidence on the field.
Okay, let me get back to you, Deborah.
What Mr. President has done from the very day he took over power in his capacity as president has been a continuation of what he has done in his personal life from the point he understands what it is to be a Nigerian, and he understands what the Nigerian dream is and how he can add value to it. What that has been is exactly the answer to the question you're asking. There is no country on earth that has all its problems solved.
Yeah, but you haven't answered the question itself.
Need for further existence.
Mr. Ali, the question
answering
itself
the question.
is
You are probably just not listening.
I am listening.
You are probably just not listening well. I'm answering. Don't be confrontational.
I'm not being confrontational.
If you ask me a question, then let me answer. Don't try to tell me how to answer it. Don't do that.
Go ahead.
Don't do that.
So go ahead.
We've had an economy that we all agree has been managed poorly and wrongly for decades. We have a population that, as we currently speak, increases by at least seven. A child is born within 7 seconds. That's an increased responsibility, and we think we have enough oil. The highest amount of oil we've ever pumped out was in 2006 or sometime 2007, 2.5 million barrels per day. We can't even do that now as a result of lack of efficiency and effectiveness. This isn't done by, we can give out, we can be very charitable, but the number keep increases. How much can you really give out if what is coming in is constant and what you are giving to is continue to increase? We need to find ways to ensure that we are able to use the resources we have, the fixed resources, to meet our insatiable need and insatiable wants, which means we are going to have to apply knowledge, which is where we are stuck on as a people. We are very educated, but in the application of knowledge, we are lacking behind. But there has to be structural changes to the management of the affairs of this country for that to be effective. We have tertiary institutions, we have leaders opening universities left, right, center to compensate themselves or compensate them what is coming out of it. We have doctors in different fields. In energy, we don't have light. We have professors in education. We all agree our education is not in where it should be. We need to look back at ourselves and say, okay, the last guy didn't get it right. The one before him didn't get it right. When people say they are activists, and I ask myself, you have problem with the military, you have problem with the people of 99 to 2003, you have problem. You have it.
Right, so the
question is, it is not what the country is going to do for you, it's what you will do for the country.
Okay,
because you are the country.
Thank you,
when someone says Nigeria killed somebody, Nigeria didn't kill anybody. Ineffectiveness of Nigerians killed somebody.
Mr. Ali,
inefficiency of Nigerians killed some, not Nigeria.
Thank you very much. I don't know whether I got the desired result I wanted, but thank you for your answering that question.
Okay, so in response to the comments, let me just make it clear to you that one of the most difficult jobs in Nigeria or in the world today is speaking for or trying to defend the APC federal government. It is a very, very difficult thing to do, because you know why? There is nothing there to defend. So you remember that the APC campaigned for 16 years of PDP misrule. In fact, this president was part of a protest called Occupy Nigeria when the then President Jonathan was trying to remove fuel subsidy, which he eventually have removed today, and yet the devil is in the detail in terms of implementation of sanitizing the oil sector and NNPC. So, and then by 2027, President Tinubu's administration will be 12 years, or the APC will be 12 years put together. Imagine living in a government of renewed hope and experiencing the kind of unfortunate hopelessness that Nigeria is experiencing. So it is difficult for you to explain what the federal government, the APC-led government, is doing. But I can give you some. A government that knows that more than 100 million persons were living in multi-dimensional poverty by the end of Buhari's administration came into power, and the first priorities were deciding to renovate a vice presidential home for 20-something billion, purchase of new private presidential jets, a presidential yacht, renovating the villa, money for purchase of SUVs for the office of the First Lady, which is not even a legally recognized, constitutionally recognized office. So when you see the frivolities and wastages in government, and then that same government in turn begins to ask the people to make sacrifices. So it is we who will think of what to do for our country, while the leaders continue to live in luxury and affluence using taxpayer money. Look at the National Assembly. Immediately they shared monies for themselves and purchased bulletproof SUVs, one for more than 160 million. Yet the minimum wage of that country is 70,000 naira. And that is a country where leaders are still demanding sacrifice from the people. So at what point does this sacrifice end? At what point does President Tinubu, his cabinet, the senators, and his government begin to make sacrifices? The president is a former governor. He's on life pension from Lagos State. The vice president is a former governor. The senate president is a former governor. So with all the resources that are shared, 60% of Nigeria's corruption is administrative. Inflation of government contracts, budget padding. Who is sanitizing and fighting that corruption? But you cannot say anything because the government does not even feel beholden to the people. And that is why no matter how much Nigerians continue to cry, it falls on deaf ear. Why? Because they know that the electoral system can still be manipulated to rig people back into power using also the Nigerian judiciary. So if I have the ears of any Nigerian politician right now, I will want them to know that power is transient. You cannot be in power forever. If you don't leave power, power will leave you. Nigerians are not demanding for too much. We only need a country to live. As a Nigerian youth, demanding for a better country, I'm not a criminal. There are known criminals that are not being attended to. But once you voice out against the government, they come after you. So Nigerians must decide whether we want to live as slaves in this country or we want to live as freeborns. And that is why I'm telling you that this 30-day challenge must not end with just the 30-day rants. There must be maximum civil pressure on the authorities. Number one, we must reform our electoral process. That is the backbone of corrupt politicians. They know that they can meander their way into the public office without consequences and accountability. So if I'm talking to Nigerian politicians, I'm telling them, your time is up. You either do the right thing for this country or a generation of young Nigerian leaders will wake up and will succeed where you people have failed woefully and continue to fail us. Because Nigerians are hungry, Nigerians are dying, the tension is palpable and the frustration, and the leaders are completely detached from the reality. It is unfortunate, but we as Nigerians must find the wisdom and the courage to fix these institutions, or else we continue to remain victims of these institutions.
Okay, it's interesting that you say this. Jalingo, let me bring you back in the house. What did you say to support this? Do you also feel, what do you think that needs to be done? In case this 30-day challenge, for instance, nothing concrete comes out of it, what more needs to be done to get your points across?
Okay, I will say that. But I'm interested in saying something about Mr. Ali. Because when he was talking, he made a veiled reference to my comment. So I want to respond to him. If you have been watching this program, if you have not been watching, maybe you watch the replay, you will notice that when Dr. Ali was talking, if you see his demeanor, if you look at his face, you will see that he suddenly became angry, give you the answer to your question. He started by massaging the young lady in the studio. My younger sister, I want to appeal to her. And the next thing, he was telling you not to push him. He wanted to have the floor, and he became angry, literally on his face. That is the attitude of this government. I even think there's an insult to call a young, a 20-year-old person, a small girl. I don't find it funny because in this country, we have seen people at 23 who became ministers and all of that. In my state, we still have, my governor was 46 and all of that. Now, that is the attitude of this government as reflected by Dr. Aliyu. In that brief 2-3 minutes, that is the attitude of this government. He was wondering that activists, people say they are activists. You are angry with the military. You are angry with people from 1999 till now. The truth is that have the ideals of June 12 been fulfilled? Have the ideals of the democracy, which we carry placard for, have they been fulfilled? The answer is no.
All right, guys. So I want to say thank you so much for paying attention and also listening to see what's the plans of the young Nigerians for this 30 days rant. I know the government is definitely going to, they are going to come up with their attitude, but this time, it's no longer like the way it happened with the EndSARS protest. This time is eye for eye. So the youths are fully ready, waiting for the actual date. All right, so thank you so very much. My name is Toby Samuel. Please do as well to subscribe, like, and comment on the video. We'll see you in the next update.